JJ Peterka joins us here at KeyBank Center, getting set for tonight. How was the road trip?
Pretty busy, but overall it was pretty fun. Yeah.
Good experience for you?
Yeah, I mean it was insane. I think like all the travel, like being around with the boys the whole time was like just a great trip.
Any memorable moments from the different cities that really stood out for you?
I felt like Vancouver was like pretty cool, and I think like overall like having like dinners like before games with the boys is just like unreal. Yeah.
What's the conversation like when you guys get together at dinner? Because I'll say this, so I'm sitting up watching morning skate this morning, and the Montreal media's there, and a couple of them are like, "Oh, I remember seeing JJ Peterka at the World Juniors. He was so good." Like, and so do you guys reminisce of the good old days, or do you talk about the games coming up? What's the conversation, or is it not hockey related at all?
It's different. Sometimes it is hockey related, sometimes not, but usually not. Like just like about life, you know, like just like the little talks.
I watched Embedded last night. Before the season started, before camp started, a lot of the conversation was around golf. Do you golf? And if I ask you like what your handicap is, would you lie like Dylan Cousins did and Peyton Krebs did? Like they lie about golf a lot.
Well, I started in Raj last year, like in March maybe. So my handicap is pretty bad. I can tell you that. I don't know what it is exact, but it's not good. But I'm getting there.
That's good because that way you can make more money. Because then they have to give you shots, and then you come up with a big game, you make more money.
Exactly.
So that's good.
Hey, Marty brought up reminiscing in different cities. I mean, you were in Edmonton where you did star at the World Juniors. So was there at least a feeling of like, I had some good days in this rink?
Well, I mean, I think it felt good playing in the building again.
Yeah.
We were like in the same hall, so like it was kind of like stuff the same. So I was like kind of like familiar with that, I would say. But yeah, I mean,
really good experience, obviously. Then for Germany, for you now though, where do you feel kind of you're at through 6 games?
Well, I think I'm just soaking it in still right now. Just enjoying every second and try to get better every day.
What happened between, and this will come in as a, I don't want to criticize you, but like camp wasn't your best. Like it didn't look all together in camp, and all of a sudden, first game of the season, boom! Like you flipped a switch, and it's like, oh, there's JJ that we saw, and we recognize the skills. So, what was the difference between the end of camp and the start of the season for you?
Yeah, like you said, like camp wasn't great for me, but I think like it's like always like in preseason to kind of like find your timing, find your game back, and then when the season like started, it's like I think like kind of like an extra motivation, especially like the home opener, like an extra push, and I think that really like helped me to go back to my game.
And now with Vinny on your line with Dylan, you guys seem to have some chemistry. It's only been the road trip, right? 4 games that Vinny Hinostroza has been on your line, but who does what? Like you see your line with Dylan Cousins and Vinny and you, like who's the guy that will always be first on the forecheck? Who's the guy that stays high? Like, do you guys have that chemistry where you can start to feel where you all are on the ice?
I would say it's like always different, like how we get in the zone and all that. So I think we kind of like everybody's doing everything kind of like in our line. But I think because like you said, like we have such great chemistry, so I think like we complement each other like pretty well there.
So it's not rookie go get the puck in the corner.
No,
not yet.
Luckily not.
There's not a lot of age difference between him and Dylan. Incredibly, that like this matchup tonight, it's like the 21 and under crowd is very well represented here tonight. JJ, last year when you found success with Rochester, and then it even went further in the playoffs, your shots per game went up and up and up. So much so in the playoffs, you were averaging over 4 shots a game. How challenging is it right now to get more shots on goal at this level?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Ds are way better. Like, everybody's, like, playing better system, I would say. So, of course, it's, like, way harder to, like, get in the spots where you can, like, shoot. But, yeah, for me personally, I want to, like, shoot a little bit more than I did in the past. I know, like, I've only, like, shot, like, once a game or so. So, yeah, just trying to shoot more in the future.
When you're going over video with coaches, are you clearly seeing some opportunities where you can shoot more?
Yeah, I would say I'm passing up a little bit stuff right now, but yeah, I'll change that.
What about the speed of execution? Like one of my highlight for the season was the little give and go you had with Dylan Cousins, right? The first game, I believe that was Ottawa. You come in, little pass over, you get it back with speed. To always play at the 100% top speed because it's the NHL. How hard is it to put everything together now that the pace is a lot higher?
Yeah, I would say it's way harder. I mean, you got to make plays way quicker than in the past when you go at full speed. So yeah, I think it's way harder. But I think our line, because we have so much speed, from us three, so I think that's a key factor where we can play off.
I think it wasn't it Arttu Ruotsalainen that said it's actually easier he felt at the NHL level because he would get the puck right on the stick and it wasn't too far off the boards or he wasn't bobbling it all up. Is there a truth to that you sometimes could have more space and more room at the NHL level because the execution is that much better?
Yeah, sometimes that's true. Yeah.
What's living in Buffalo like as far as getting settled? I know now you're coming off a long road trip. It doesn't feel like you've been home, I'm sure. But how are you settling in as far as in the city here?
Pretty good, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, great sports town, so I really enjoy it living here, to be honest.
Nice.
What's better, a 5-hour flight or a 5-hour bus trip?
No, I take the flight 100%.
Because that's the norm, right? In the AHL, it's about 4 or 5 hours pretty much to everywhere. Sometimes 6, 7, it could be more. But you don't get long flights in the NHL, especially here in Buffalo. It's usually an hour to New Jersey, an hour to Boston, an hour to Ottawa. Those long flights are a little different. So video, watching movies or TV shows, playing cards, what was your flights like?
I actually started reading.
Reading?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a lone wolf on this set.
I was going to say, my daughter walks around with a book. I'm like, what's that? Pages with things. This is what I read. The stats pack. Right? So what
soft cover, right?
Exactly. Very soft cover. Recycle, please. What book are you reading?
A German book.
A German book.
Something about winning, helps you, I would say.
Okay. I like that.
Did you hear how he lit up when he's talked about the sports town that Buffalo is? So, obviously he's talking about football. And, so on the heels of last night and the debut of Embedded and Dahlin admitting that he won last year's fantasy football, but not by himself, that it was his brother that did it. Are you heavily involved in fantasy football?
Not yet.
No?
No. I mean, when I came over here last year, I had no clue about football. I gotta say that. But living here, it's you kind of have to watch it, especially being in Buffalo now. I kind of became a Bills fan. So I mean, probably next year I'm in a fantasy. I don't know.
Well, it's always good to be in a fantasy football league because you then know who lies a lot and who's true because you have to make trades. And then some guys are just very, very, very dirty in the trade department. So it adds to that. So you didn't know anything about football. What sports did you follow growing up? The World Series is starting Friday night. So are you a baseball fan? There's not a lot of baseball in Germany either.
I'm going to go with soccer here.
Soccer, okay. Yeah. What's your favorite soccer team?
Bayern Munich.
Okay, well, okay, so you're staying inside the
they won the Champions League last day against Barcelona.
Do you have to get up early to watch their games? Do they usually run early in the morning?
They play 9:30 back home, so it's -6 hours here.
Okay, so 3:30, so you can catch their games and stuff.
Well, speaking of hometown roots, did you have any conversations with the great Leon Draisaitl when you were?
No, I got to say no. I don't know him at all, to be honest.
Wow.
So
I was hopeful for you that maybe you would have had a chance to talk to him.
No, sadly no.
I'm sure I'm sure an incredible amount of respect though for what he's done.
Yeah, 100%
within the game.
I'm sure he knows you. I'm sure he knows. There's
he gave me a little stick tap on the ass. So
good.
He knows me.
He knows you. That's all it takes. Just a little stick tap. There you go.
All right, JJ. Good luck tonight. Thank you so much for the time.
Yeah, thanks guys.